A small rustic kitchen on a budget is proof that charm, warmth, and functionality don't have to come with a hefty price tag. The beauty of rustic design is that it embraces imperfections, celebrates natural materials, and thrives on character rather than high-end finishes. Whether you're working with a tiny space in a farmhouse-style home, an apartment, or even just a cozy corner of a larger kitchen, you can achieve that warm and inviting rustic feel without breaking the bank. With a little creativity, some DIY spirit, and a focus on repurposing and upcycling, you can transform your kitchen into a rustic retreat that feels both stylish and personal. The foundation of a rustic kitchen starts with natural earthy tones that create a sense of warmth and coziness. Think soft whites, warm beiges, muted greens, or gentle grays. These colors set the stage for a timeless and welcoming space while keeping things light and airy. If you have existing cabinets, consider giving them a fresh coat of paint in a warm, neutral shade. Chalk paint or milk paint can create a beautifully weathered, vintage-inspired look that feels perfectly rustic without requiring a complete renovation. For an even more aged, distressed effect, lightly sand the edges after painting to give them that worn-in farmhouse appeal. Open shelving is a simple and budget-friendly way to add a rustic touch while maximizing storage in a small kitchen. Instead of installing expensive cabinetry, repurpose reclaimed wood or even old wooden planks as shelves. These can be mounted with inexpensive brackets to display everyday kitchen essentials like plates, mugs, and jars of dry goods. The exposed nature of open shelving not only adds character but also encourages organization and accessibility. To keep things visually appealing, store items in glass jars, woven baskets, or vintage tins, all of which can often be found at thrift stores or flea markets at a fraction of the cost of new storage solutions. One of the most cost-effective ways to create a rustic feel in your kitchen is to incorporate textures that reflect nature. A wooden cutting board leaning against the backsplash, a collection of ceramic bowls, or even an old-fashioned cast iron skillet hanging on the wall can make a big difference in creating that homey, lived-in aesthetic. If you have space for a small island or prep table, an old farmhouse table or a butcher block-style cart can serve as both a work surface and a charming design element. Even a simple wooden stool tucked under the counter can add to the rustic ambience while providing extra seating. Countertops can be expensive to replace, but there are budget-friendly ways to achieve a rustic look without investing in costly materials. Butcher block countertops are a classic choice, and while solid wood can be pricey, you can often find affordable laminate options that mimic the look of real wood. Another option is to cover existing countertops with contact paper designed to replicate wood or stone, giving them a refreshed, rustic feel at a fraction of the cost. If you're up for a DIY project, a concrete countertop can be made relatively inexpensively and adds a rustic farmhouse-style charm that blends beautifully with wooden elements. A rustic kitchen wouldn't be complete without the right lighting to enhance its cozy atmosphere. Instead of expensive modern fixtures, opt for budget-friendly pendant lights with metal or glass shades that have a vintage or industrial feel. Reclaimed materials like mason jars or old lanterns can be turned into unique DIY light fixtures that add an extra layer of character. String lights or under-cabinet lighting can also bring warmth to the space while keeping things soft and inviting. If your kitchen has a window, take advantage of natural light by keeping window treatments minimal, opting for light linen or cotton curtains that allow sunlight to filter through. The walls of a rustic kitchen offer the perfect opportunity to introduce charm and personality without a big price tag. A simple shiplap wall or bedboard paneling can create that classic farmhouse look, and both can often be installed inexpensively with plywood or MDF boards. A whitewashed brick or fog brick accent wall can add a vintage feel while bringing texture and warmth to the space. Another budget-friendly way to bring in rustic character is through peel and stick wallpaper with a wood or stone effect, which creates the illusion of a more expensive material without the commitment or cost of actual renovations. Decor plays a huge role in tying together the rustic aesthetic, and thankfully, it's one of the easiest areas to do on a budget. Vintage finds from thrift stores, flea markets, or even family heirlooms can bring instant charm to your kitchen. A collection of old mason jars can be used for storage or as vases for fresh flowers. An antique clock, weathered signs, or framed botanical prints can be hung on the walls to add personality without overwhelming the space. If you love DIY projects, consider distressing a wooden picture frame or repurposing an old window frame into wall decor. Even something as simple as a bundle of dried herbs hanging from a hook or a small potted plant on the windowsill can breathe life into the space. Flooring can be one of the more expensive updates in a kitchen, but there are ways to achieve a rustic look on a budget. If you already have hardwood floors, refinishing them can bring out their natural beauty without the cost of replacement. For those working with existing tile or laminate, affordable peel and stick vinyl flooring can mimic the look of wood or stone while being easy to install and maintain. A well-placed jute or braided rug can add warmth and texture while covering up outdated flooring in a way that complements the rustic style. Small rustic kitchens benefit from multi-purpose furniture and clever storage solutions that maximize space without sacrificing style. A wall-mounted pot rack keeps cookware accessible while doubling as decor. A pegboard for hanging utensils or small shelves above the sink can create extra storage without taking up valuable counter space. Even an old wooden crate or wire basket mounted on the wall can serve as a charming and functional spot for spices or small kitchen items. One of the best things about a rustic kitchen is that it embraces imperfections and a sense of history. Rather than striving for a perfectly polished look, lean into the charm of mismatched dishes, slightly weathered finishes, and furniture that tells a story. A small rustic kitchen doesn't have to feel cramped or cluttered. By keeping things simple, functional, and well organized, the space can feel cozy and welcoming rather than overcrowded. Budget-friendly rustic kitchen ideas are all about working with what you have, repurposing items, and incorporating natural materials in a way that feels intentional and warm. Whether you're updating your kitchen little by little or tackling a full transformation, focusing on texture, warmth, and character will help you create a space that feels like home without spending a fortune. It's about embracing the beauty in simplicity, making use of found objects, and infusing the space with personal touches that make it uniquely yours. Even the smallest kitchens can exude rustic charm when designed with care and creativity, proving that style and budget can go hand in hand.